Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of MDC in the Haitian community. My name is James Pierre. Our special guest today is Mr. Newton Sanon, and you're going to learn a lot about his path inside of the Haitian community and also outside of the Haitian community. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, James.
Absolutely. It's an honor. So your parents are Haitians?
That's correct.
Okay. But you were born here in South Florida?
Born and raised in Miami, Florida in particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you did go to school in Miami as well?
Yes, I did. I went to North Miami High. Actually, I started off, we went to Edison Middle. Then we moved to North Miami, with North Miami Middle, then to North Miami High. So I'm a pioneer, baby.
Ah, good.
Yes,
so during your time in Miami, I know at a certain point of time, you know, being Haitian was a bit of an issue.
That's right.
If you call it like that. So how was your childhood in Miami?
You know, I had a phenomenal childhood, but we know that there's been an evolution of the Haitian community here in South Florida. I remember the days back in the 80s where they were chasing Haitians and they had Haitian beat up day, etc. So there's been quite an evolution, but we know that there's still work to be done. But I remember that era where it wasn't so cool and proud to be Haitian. And of course, you had the Wyclef era that started to come, and all of a sudden, people became more proud to be Haitian. And so I think that still remains, in some respects, an issue today. But we're seeing an evolution of people having more of a sense of a pride of our Haitian community.
Your parents are Haitians.
That's correct.
But you were also exposed to the American culture.
Yes, right.
How did you make the difference between the Haitian culture at home and also the American culture when you go outside, in school?
You know, that's a phenomenal question, James. I think there's still a culture clash sometimes. We as Haitian Americans, born and raised in South Florida or wherever else in the country, and the traditions of our family, our people from Haiti, I think we are grounded and rooted in a lot of the Haitian culture and the essence of it. But sometimes, our parents would always say, be careful, I'm making your side, right? And so we would hear that all the time because they want us to hold true to our culture. Yet the evolution of us being Haitian Americans, sometimes there's a clash. And I think the key is really parents communicating with their children. A lot of our culture is really one where there's a dominating element where the parents really say "Tibuno yisal corner," that whole thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think with an evolution of the culture, we really need to encourage parents to really talk to their kids more, have a better relationship, and I think we'll see some changes as well.
It's great that you mentioned relationships. So at a very young age, how was your relationship with your parents? Did they tell you things about Haiti, about your culture? So
That's right.
You know?
I've always had a great relationship with my parents, largely in part because I'm an extrovert. I've always been one very communicative with my family and whatnot. And I find that more and more, even now, I'm still learning a lot more about our Haitian culture. We'll talk about the conference and everything later on. But we were so immersed into American culture that we found that, the extent to which we were totally exposed to the Haitian culture, outside of going to church, which is a strong part of our Haitian heritage, and we always still to this day, we're grounded in the church. To other day, we find that we're still learning more and more and more about our culture because we didn't go there a lot as kids. And I think there were some challenges with that, but we're really starting to turn things around and learn more about the Haitian culture.
In the Haitian culture, there's a saying, education is the foundation of a great citizen.
That's
so
right.
How was it at your home when your parents, were they encouraging you? Hey, you better stay in school. You better in school.
There was no negotiating the ideal of education. I mean, it was instilled upon us from since being kids. And then I was just blessed, James, to have many aunts and uncles who acted surrogate parents for mine, as well as my parents who really always promoted the notion of education. So that wasn't even negotiable. Wow. They really rooted that at an early age, and to the day I think I credit that to a lot of success I've had in my career.
When you said you went to school here in Miami, how was the relationship between the Haitians at school and also the African Americans?
I think there was an evolution. Like I said, in the 80s, I found that there was a little bit more of a strain. But progressively, as you got into the 90s, you start to see an evolution. We started to come more into our own. And then different celebrities, different people started coming out being Haitian. It gave us more of a sense of pride. And then you saw the evolution. I think Miami continues to evolve. But I think around the early to mid 90s is really when we began to start to really feel good about ourselves. I mean, there are all kinds of different groups that really subgroups that came and evolved as a result of those efforts. You got the whole Zopound thing that was happening, and there's the ups and good and bad and down with that. You have the Wyclefs of the world who start to come out and give us a sense of pride. And at one point in time, there were people who weren't Haitian who want to say they were Haitian. So talk about an evolution. You go from not being proud to be Haitian, an evolution to a sense of pride, and then people who even weren't Haitian who would say that they were Haitian just because we became the in thing. So we'll talk about a cultural paradigm shift and an evolution of our culture.
Wow. Yeah. It's very interesting that you mentioned that, because I wanted to have your perspective now on how do you see the Haitian community, because obviously you are doing a lot in the Haitian community. Right. You know, you are outside of the community, now inside of the Haitian community. Yeah. So how do you see the Haitian community now?
I'll tell you, James, I'm noticing a great progressive evolution, a sense of pride. I think for so long, the country of Haiti has had such turmoil in many respects. And I think sometimes, and understandably so, our parents contribute to that. And not necessarily a knock on them, but if you think about it, they came up in a country where there was a lot of poverty in many respects. And all kind of other stability issues with the government structure, et cetera, voting, et cetera. We still were working on those elements. So in contrast to their lives in South Florida or throughout the country, that represents a traumatic experience.
Yes.
So I don't think our parents mean ill when they say, oh, be careful when you go to Haiti, I'm not going back, et cetera, et cetera. I think they just always want better for us as children. And so when they reflect back on the conditions and the life and the opportunities they had in Haiti, in contrast to the lives they live now, that's what they're expressing to us. So I really understand it from a social psychological perspective, but I will tell you, there is a progressive and aggressive movement of a shift. I'm seeing a lot of professional Haitians who are doing phenomenal things throughout the entire country. And we're starting to come together. Organically, it's starting to happen. And I think there's that movement is going to really parlay itself into us really getting into more leadership positions, whether it's in the corporate America, whether it's in higher education, whether it's in politics. Of course, we got two great leaders now. You know, we got the chair of the county commission, Chairman Jean Monestine. You got the mayor of the city of North Miami, Dr. Smith Joseph. So I think what's starting to happen, we as young Haitians, we're starting to see that our aspirations are raising. And that is in large part because I think people only aspire to as high as what they're exposed to. So we're exposed to these leaders making great strides in moving our community forward. And we turn and say, you know what? He and she represent my plight and my culture, and I can aspire to do those things as well. So I'm encouraged about the direction of the Haitian diaspora and where we're going to take things to the next level.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nicely said. I want to take a commercial break. So when we come back, I want to talk about your transition, because you did leave the Haitian community for a moment.
That's right.
And then came back.
That's
so
right.
we're going to talk about that. Stay with us.
Look forward to it.
You're watching MDC in the Haitian community. My name is James Pierre. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, much more to know about you.
Be creative. Be a hero. Be the solution. Be connected. Be innovative. Be global. Be successful. Be you. Be MDC. Be Miami-Dade College.
Welcome back to MDC in the Haitian community with James Pierre. Our guest is Newton Sanon. Newton, we're talking on the first segment about your experience here in Miami.
That's right.
But you left Miami for Wisconsin. What took you to Wisconsin?
Well, like a lot of minority youth, I had these great dreams of making it to the NFL. And I played football, and I ended up getting to the University of Wisconsin, started to play football there. So you could imagine a substantial cultural shock being a city young guy from Miami, Florida, and going to Wisconsin, right?
Wow.
No culture there at all. In fact, I remember meeting some white people there that had never seen black people ever in their life, right?
Wow.
And so it was a major culture shock. But I wouldn't trade the experience for the world, because life is so much about adaptability and really, really adjusting and overcoming circumstances that may be good, bad, or indifferent. And I'm a black man, don't want to ever be anything else. Yeah. But that exposure to a different culture really, I think, really molded my professional career, me as a person being exposed to different cultures. And I've always been an extrovert and loved people. So it really was an easy transition for me. but definitely a culture shock and contrast to the city of Miami.
How did you cope in details to that transition? Because I know you love your Haitian food.
That's
and
right.
up there you didn't have that.
Yes, man. I will tell you. In fact, I started a hustle as a result of that. Many of my colleagues or roommates who didn't know about Haitian food, and I started. It's amazing that your parents, you watching them cook all the time, and you don't realize you're picking up on different tricks of the trade. So I started making the little decollé at the house. And so I have my friends that were from Wisconsin, from Chicago, etc. So heck, I started selling a few plates here and there to make a little money.
Wow.
And they loved the food. So I was very popular as a result of that. But it was quite a transition because I'm a Kibef guy.
Yeah.
It's
your favorite,
That's
right?
my favorite,
That's the
right?
greatest as well, Haitian food.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. And so to not have those delicacies that we know and grow to love here in South Florida as Haitian Americans, to go there to a place where there wasn't much culture was a transition. But again, that's life. It's about adapting to those things that you have, you don't have, and making the best of it. And I think I did just that.
It's important, to emphasize more on that, because sometimes we are scared to get out of our comfort zone.
That's right.
We feel that we are Haitian Americans. Let me just stay in my community.
That's right.
And not explore what else, you can find outside of the box. So you did that, and you think it's a great experience for you to make you a better citizen. It's
funny. I spoke at an event at Broward College yesterday, and we were talking. One of the young kids asked, we were educating young kids about making decisions about going to college. And a young lady asked, and she was a Haitian American incidentally, about the idea of staying home in state or going out of state. Now, I'm from Florida, and I support the Florida higher education system, but there are some benefits to going outside of the state and getting away from the nest, as we say. The extent to which it teaches you how to work independent of your family in that nest, being mature enough to make it to class on time when nobody's waking you up, and really just forces you to grow up on another level. And I've seen in terms of my development that it's added a lot of value for me, because I can go into any circle and really be adaptable and connect with all kinds of people. Because the foundation for me in South Florida, obviously there's a rich diversity of cultures here, but to go to Wisconsin, where typically it's a little more bland in terms of culture, to still be able to adapt in that environment, I think it's important, because you can't stay in your own sandbag. The global market doesn't represent that. If you want to get in business, we live in a global economy, as you know, and even diversity in the workplace. If you've only stuck with your people, then you won't be able to engage. And most people can feel that. When you're having a personal relationship with individuals, your colleagues, they can feel that tension if you're comfortable and fluid or not. So I think there's a lot of value to stepping outside your box and making sure you're interacting with all kinds of cultures.
So from Wisconsin, you moved back to Florida.
Yes.
So why?
Well, at the end of the day, I love my culture.
Nicely said.
And so I felt like I spent 7 years in Wisconsin. I did my undergrad and stayed and did my master's work there. I worked for the NFL for a short time with the Minnesota Vikings and transferred here back to the Miami Dolphins. But for me, and I had all kinds of offers to stay in the Midwest, but I thought about it. Every time I would come home, James, I saw that my little brother was getting older. My parents were getting older. And I felt like there was a disconnect. And family is so immensely important to me. I mean, it's the foundation of my life. My faith and my family are so immensely important to me. And I said, yes, I could have taken a job in the Midwest, but I realized, one, what was important to me was family. Secondly, from a cultural perspective, I wanted to be back here. And last but not least, the snow was cute and all, but I'm an island boy, so I really want my sun and beaches, so I wanted to come back home with my family.
But you came back to Florida, of course, for family, for culture, and also, the feeling back home as, Haitian Americans. But you also did give back to your community, and you're still doing that.
No doubt about it.
How important do you think it is to give back to the community before we even start talking about the conference?
Not a problem. I'm proud to serve as the president and CEO of an organization, OIC of South Florida. We're a community-based organization that really focuses on economic self-sufficiency, specifically giving people training and jobs at the grassroots level. At the end of the day, a job is the best social service in the world. I always reflect back to an experience when I used to work for the Miami Dolphins. I recall my director getting into it. He was like, "You guys are always running out of business cards." But going back, as I reflect back on my psychology training, I understand human dynamics. In social circles, what you do for a living establishes the level of credibility or credence to give people give to you. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's just the reality. And so when I handed my business card to people, and I was Newton Sanon with the Miami Dolphins, it was a totally different dynamic in terms of how they respected you, et cetera, et cetera. So our organization really instills the ideals of, on the youth side, helping young people to decide on informed career paths, and then on the adult side, getting people those certifications they need to become economically self-sufficient, while also dealing with all those other social ills, whether it be someone that's returning from incarceration, someone that got impregnated as a teen, foster care youth, et cetera, et cetera. So for me, giving back is everything, because at the end of the day, none of us go through this journey of success on our own. I'm a part of the greatest fraternity in the world, Omega Psi Phi, and we believe, and we always say, you must lift as you climb. And so it is important that the same way people have given us opportunities, we've been blessed with a village of people who educated us and elevated us, it's important that we reach back and give those people an opportunity as well.
You're part of a wonderful organization. There's a conference coming up.
That's
I want to talk about that,
yes,
so stay with us. We're going to take a last break at the MDC in the Haitian community with James Pierre. We'll be right back.
Be creative. Be a hero. Be the solution. Be connected. Be innovative. Be global. Be successful. Be you. Be MDC. Be Miami-Dade College.
You're watching MDC in the Haitian community with James Pierre, and welcome to our last segment. Our guest is still Newton Sanon. Newton, we are talking about the giving back to the community.
That's
and I have to give you a bravo, like we said in the Haitian community, for all the good work that you are doing in the Haitian community. But not only that, now you're part of a wonderful organization. You are doing an upcoming conference. Tell me more about that.
So the National Association of Haitian Professionals, James, like many people in the Haitian diaspora, we're interested in our culture. We love our culture. But in some respects, a lot of us feel disconnected. And I found myself having run a successful organization. I mean, we've raised $40 million in federal and state local contracts to date since I've run the agency. So we've done well. But I found myself asking, what have I done for the Haitian community? And I wasn't happy with that answer. And so there's only two choices. You either talk about it or you do something about it. And the latter has always been my position. So I was talking to a colleague of mine in Washington, and she said, Newton, you should speak at this conference. She started to tell me about the organization. I hadn't heard about it until then. She said, but you got to pay your own way. I'm like, geez, there's a deal for you, right? So I decided it made sense, and I did it. The conference took place, and I spoke at it last year at Harvard University. Myself and Evelyn P.S., so shout out to Evelyn, who also does great work in the community. And I just remember being so impressed with the conference, and I suggested to the individuals, you guys should bring this to Miami. Long and the short of it, they voted on it. They said, but the key is you got to co-chair it down there. So they said, be careful what you ask for. So the idea of the conference, the National Association of Haitian Professionals, it's a networking organization. It's about mobilizing and gathering all the brain trusts of all Haitian American professionals throughout the country, for that matter, to talk about issues around healthcare, economic development, education, investments, issues around the diaspora and how we engage and support the efforts in Haiti. So there's going to be a grand plethora of all kinds of issues that we're going to deal with. I'll tell you, we've gotten a great response throughout the community. The stature of the speakers are amazing. We got the current and past 3 consecutive prime ministers confirmed, the Minister of Finances confirmed, working on getting the Minister of Tourism as well. We got representatives from the White House coming. I mean, my goodness, we got people from Quebec, Canada's coming. So it's really, really taken on a life of its own, and we're excited about bringing this thing together.
Wow, that's very great. That's very great for the Haitian community. So now, as a former Miami-Dade College student, how important do you think it is for Haitian American student, or other students, to get involved in such activity?
I think it's immensely incredible and important. But as I said, I think a lot of us are interested, but we're outside on the periphery trying to figure out how, where, and what. And this conference seeks to do just that, to be the kind of the liaison, if you will, to bring us together, to learn about great people, and a phenomenal job you do, by the way, James, in your profession. And it's inspiring. You know, we're creatures of familiarity. And so we like to be able to identify and connect, all of us as human beings. And so part of one of the things that helps you connect and be inspired is people that come from the same background. Because if you look at people like James and others, Evelyn and other people throughout the community, we get inspired. I mean, if you take a look at even the city of North Miami, you got Councilman Bieneme, Councilman Delsume. These are folks that really act as people for us to look up to and say, there's an inspiration and I too can do it. So I think it's important, especially for college students who are trying to find their way, to be inspired, to come together, to talk about issues, to be exposed to a professional environment. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. So I encourage everybody to show up.
You know, one thing that I think is very important is having representatives from Haiti come into that conference.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we think the Haitian culture in Haiti is a bit different from what we are living here as Haitian Americans.
That's right.
So now it's a way to reconnect to the roots,
That's
to
right.
know what is going on the ground.
That's right.
In order for you to make better decisions, right?
No doubt about it. As I said, we're so interested. And I would say to all the people, the Haitian government, that we're interested. Our hand is extended in a sense of partnership and wanting to connect. Because at the end of the day, we're all Haitians of Haitian descent. And we got to find ways to coexist, to work together, to figure out how do we support each other's efforts to elevate the country of Haiti, as well as the Haitian diaspora here in South Florida and throughout the country. And until now, I think there's been very few efforts to really pull it all together. And it's not just NAHP. You got the guys like Jeff Lozama, who's putting together the Haitian Chamber of Commerce and the great work that they're doing there. You got Hannah, you got the Haitian Lawyers Association, Dottie Joseph and those guys doing a phenomenal job. So I'm watching in a aggressive evolution of these organizations really propping up stronger and stronger. The key is to get us all together, to define a broad agenda that we all agree on and support. And even you got groups like the Haitian American for Progress, the PACT, really encouraging civic engagement and people voting. So imagine if we all got this brain trust together of resources and intellect to start supporting candidates, voting, etc. So shout out to JP Austin, those guys are doing a phenomenal job, and Dr. Pierre as well. So a lot of good stuff happening.
Absolutely.
Man.
You've been to Haiti and you're now here. So the conference is very important. We encourage people to be part of that.
That's right.
So what's going to happen and how somebody can be, can find more information. To say, I want to be part of that conference.
So the conference is taking place November 12th, 13th, and 14th at Florida International University, Biscayne Bay campus in North Miami. And it's going to be 3 days of excellent speaking and discussing and dialogue and networking amongst Haitian professionals. For people to get more information, they can go on www.nhp/conference.org. So that's www.nhp/conference.org. You have a list of the speakers, the sessions, the social events that we're going to have. Saturday evening is going to be phenomenal. We have a gala, an awards gala. We're going to be honoring several leaders in the community. We have T-Vice performing, and who doesn't love T-Vice?
Man, you have to.
Yes, indeed, right? And my good friend Calvin Hughes, who does a phenomenal job and has a great love for Haiti. He's going to be the MC for us. So I'd suggest people to get their tickets real fast because the gala is selling out pretty fast. So it's going to be a good time. But here's what I'm telling everybody, though, James. This conference is a moment in time. It is extremely important, but there's a broader agenda. And that agenda is to get us together, to start to develop a cohesiveness, a true net-type work community. Because divided, no matter what the agenda is, if we don't have a cohesiveness amongst ourselves, it won't work. So I think these are progressive steps that we're taking to bring us together, to get to know each other, to love on each other, support each other, learn about each other's strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities. And then I think progressively we're evolving towards a broader agenda that we're all going to agree on and then make a difference in our community.
My brother, I have to say, I'm so proud of all the great work that you are doing inside of the Haitian community, getting us back together and also reconnect to our roots. And it's very important to do that. So thank you so much for your work, and thank you for being here on
Man, I appreciate the opportunity. Good to see you again.
Thank you. And thank you to you as well for watching MDC in the Haitian community. My name is James Pierre. We'll see you next time.